Hi, I'm Saurabh Agarwal, a principal at Elixir. In this series, we're looking to speak with business leaders around the world during this difficult time. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. These conversations are focused on the impact of COVID-19 on businesses and how they're adapting to the changing environment. We want to understand and share innovations, opportunities, and hear from a range of companies across industries and how they are dealing with the current situation. Today, I'm speaking with Jesse Leimgruber from NeoReach. Jesse is a serial entrepreneur, the founder of and CEO of NeoReach and Bloom, a Thiel Fellow, and a guest lecturer at Stanford University. Jesse, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
To start us off, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your company, NeoReach?
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for having me. My name is Jesse. I'm the founder and CEO of NeoReach. I started NeoReach 6 years ago when I was a student at Stanford studying computer science. Left Stanford, my professor wrote the first investment check, and since then, NeoReach has become the leader in social intelligence. We power more than 30 different Fortune 500s on influencer marketing and social media data campaigns, ranging from large consumer CPGs like Procter & Gamble to tech companies like Microsoft and Amazon to dozens and dozens of breakout startups and everything in between. Fundamentally, at NeoReach, we focus on data, tracking campaigns, targeting users with hyper-personalization and demographics, and ultimately making sure that every dollar that's managed through NeoReach technology returns an ROI.
It sounds exciting. It must have been quite a ride. I mean, dropping out of school and then getting to this great growth story that's NeoReach. But as NeoReach, you guys are at the forefront of social media and are seeing the impact of COVID-19 pandemic firsthand. How has consumer behavior changed in social media since April? I mean, what are you guys seeing there?
Well, initially when the first hints of coronavirus came, we thought potentially, okay, digital is going to be up, social media consumption is going to be up, which it largely was, but still marketing and brands sponsoring and putting money towards digital and media initially were way down. And so what we've seen is there's certainly now an opportunity for brands to take advantage of the vast numbers of additional time that's spent on social media, the amount of additional people that are using digital technologies. Consumer behavior, I think, is shifting potentially permanently. We see this reflected in stocks like Zoom, and other remote companies that focus on distance learning and distance video technology. But nowhere is the difference more reflected than the amount of time people are spending with their devices and with their computers. I don't know if that's a good thing for society, but the reality is that time is increasing dramatically.
In essence, that's kind of what I'm hearing from all our clients as well. But given this radical shift, what are some challenges that enterprise marketers face? This is a whole new set of opportunities for them. How are you seeing brand behavior change with regard to social media?
That's a great question. There's a lot of shifting in behavior happening right now. First, at the highest level, marketing is the first to get additional spend when times are good and the quickest spend to get cut when times are not good. So in many large corporations, the marketing spend was dialed way down just at the first hints of coronavirus. And so many executives in large corporations found themselves with budgets pulled, campaigns that couldn't run. And it wasn't always due to budgets. I mean, many marketing campaigns are event promotions, require people to travel, visit new places, require on-staff videographers. So the entire marketing landscape essentially overnight had their budgets suspended or pulled, and then many campaigns dramatically limited. That doesn't mean marketers aren't innovative. They certainly see this as an opportunity as well. And over the last couple of months, initially, I think it was very quiet. But over the last 2 months, we have seen just a explosion in different types of creative campaigns from around the world. People are shifting digital. They're getting better at tracking. They're getting significantly better at organizing marketing campaigns with remote teams and distributed teams. And there really is an opportunity now, especially as a large number of companies have exited marketing campaigns in the traditional sense. There really is an opportunity for marketers to grow their brand, save budget, and keep their company strong. And so since all of these marketers are shifting almost entirely digital, the analytics folks and the data people are having a field day, because for the first time, many companies are actually able to track the vast majority of their marketing spend that's going out. And so for companies like NeoReach, this helps us. We've seen a lot of new customers in a lot of new industries that are looking at social and influencers for the first time. But for traditional marketing agencies, they definitely have to stay innovative. Their typical events that they do flying around the world just isn't going to cut it in the modern era anymore.
Understood. That's really interesting. So earlier on, you mentioned that you mentioned specific trends both around consumer use of social media having gone up, and now you're talking about marketers adapting. These trends that you're talking about, you think they're here to stay, right? I mean, or is this the new normal for digital marketing, or is it going to revert back to the way it was?
I do think it's the new normal, because the technologies that get embedded in a shift like this sort of become the standard. I don't see video conferencing suddenly disappearing. I don't see work from home suddenly getting completely eliminated. I mean, when you have something for a week or two, fine. But we're now seeing, 6+ months of this new behavior and this new normal. Numbers are going up in many places. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't continue for another 6 months or even a year. So at that level, with that amount of time, entire corporate structures change. And plus, just bringing it to marketing specifically, people are seeing the advantage of digital marketing. TVs were already on the way out. Radio ads were already on the way out. If this doesn't kill them, it significantly kills the budgets that were allocated towards them. And so marketers like data now. They like being able to track their budget, and that's something that I think is going to remain for a long time.
Yeah, you mentioned data. Is accessing and verifying this data, is this data real? I mean, is this data accessible in all contexts? How do you basically use it in this context?
That's a great question. Marketers fundamentally, the old school way of thinking is, how many eyeballs, how many impressions am I going to get on my piece of content? A TV commercial is an impression, a billboard is an impression, a radio play is an impression. So it was impressions focused. There wasn't that much thought on who is consuming my content, where are they located, what are their demographics. Any marketer with Google Analytics can see, these type of trends. And now marketers are saying, well, can we go deeper? Social media provides us demographics. It provides us insights into who's consuming our content. Maybe some users are power users. Tools like Facebook's lookalike audience and other networks' lookalike audience let you target a specific type of consumer with a specific age group, location, demographic. This is really powerful stuff that a lot of marketers were not. They were just stuck in their old ways. They weren't, pushed to sort of learn the new technologies. But when 100% of their budget is forced to become digital and they need to stay competitive, these technologies suddenly become pretty critical to them. So to answer your question, we're seeing a lot of marketers look at conversion data for oftentimes the first time. Where's our leads coming from? Where's our sales coming from? And for many new companies, we just signed a Fortune 500 company that candidly admitted that they had never tracked this conversion metric. And, for companies of that scale, this is a big shift.
All right, terrific. Jesse, we could talk about this for a while, but I think this is all the time we have today. Thank you for your time, and really appreciate your insights and sharing them with us. I'm really excited to see NeoReach and how it's actually starting to transform how marketers actually access their consumers across social media. So thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thanks for having me.